But one thing she did say that, because I didn't see the interview, that I did like, she said that she would put a Republican in her administration.
If her position is to continue on with how the border has been going, she's going to lose a lot of support. You people know that you chose Kendrick. It was never about the music and the greatness that is Drake. This movie calls It Ends With Us.
That's a Tyler Perry movie.
Welcome back to The Blackness. I'm Brooks.
And I'm Hendrix.
And today we're going to be talking about a number of different topics. It's been a while since we, done something like this because we were out doing on the street, man interviews, which, that video is actually blowing up. So thank you guys for tuning in and liking and sharing and subscribing. Hello to all the new subscribers. So this is kind of what we do normally. Is we sit down and do a podcast. That's why it's called the Black Summit Podcast. So welcome into y'all.
Hopefully you guys are some newcomers and some of our old friends, like our new digs out here. We're trying to set the mood. We're trying to do a little Luther. So we're trying to do a little something a little different. No, this was actually Brooks' idea, which I think was pretty cool to change it up a little bit, to
Switch
break
it
the
up.
monotony up. So
Shout out to our producer.
Producer.
Helped us out with this a little bit today.
Got a producer for the day. Hopefully she comes back.
Yeah.
And she works for free.
But we have a lot to talk about today. Today we're going to be talking about Kamala Harris. She just did an interview with CNN, her first interview. A lot of people were making a big deal about her not doing that. And so she's finally done this. She did it with Tim Walz, her VP pick. And so we'll be getting into that, her first interview. We're also going to be talking about the 100 gigs for your head top, because we never really talked about it. Drake released one 100 gigs, and now he just released another. And also there's been a lot of different tracks that he's kind of released with that. So we'll be getting into that. And then we'll also be talking about Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. There's a story that's been in the headlines for the past few weeks. So we'll be getting into what's kind of going on. Since we're in the film industry, I think that we should talk about it a little bit. But but first we're going to talk about Kamala Harris and get into that.
So you got a clip?
Yeah, I do have some clips. So we'll play some clips from the interview. Dana Bash is who was interviewing her from CNN. Okay. And I'm going to play this clip to get us started.
Appoint a Republican to your cabinet?
Yes, I would. I think it's important to have people at the table when some of the most important decisions are being made that have different views, different experiences. And I think it would be to the benefit of the American public. I think the most important and most significant aspect of my policy perspective and decisions is my values have not changed. My value around what we need to do to secure our border, that value has not changed. I think
He suggested that you happened to turn black recently for political purposes, questioning a core part of your identity.
Yeah.
Any
same old tired playbook. Next question, please.
That's it?
That's it.
He suggested.
All right, so those are some of the highlights that people are talking about with
I think, man, like we addressed it before about her blackness. Or whatever. Same old propaganda. I get where she's coming from. Same old playbook. Next story. Any simple or stupid propaganda that the right can use about her blackness, her laugh. Focus on the policies. If your policies are better than hers, focus on that. If she feel her policies is better than Trump's, focus on that.
Yeah.
That's what's concerned about, the people. That's what we need, the policies, How you going to protect and take care of the American people? How you going to worry about our economic base first, But one thing she did say that, because I didn't see the interview, that I did like, she said that she would put a Republican on her in her administration, which she had a Republican speak at the DNC. You saw that?
Who was it?
Oh man, why would you ask me that, man?
I
Why
don't.
would
Yeah, I didn't.
But he
really-
did speak because he's still Republican at heart, which is nothing wrong with that. But he doesn't align with Donald Trump because he says that Donald Trump is not your regular Republican. He's an entity within an entity. Is how he feels like he's going to destroy democracy and destroy their party. You know, so and he actually spoke out, and I think he's supporting Kamala Harris.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I always want to see the country come together. So the fact that she said that she would appoint a person makes my ears perk up because, that's all I want to see. I want to see, Republicans and Democrats, leftists and, people on the right come together. But is she actually gonna do that? Who knows? I think Biden was saying that he might appoint people back in the day, or when he was running 4 years ago, he was saying that he was going to appoint some Republicans, and then he ended up not doing that. He ended up, putting a bunch of people from the left, onto his cabinet.
I mean,
but what do you think? Because I want to get to the interview.
oh, real quick, 'cause
ahead.
I want to answer your question because you asked who it was. It's Representative, former Republican Representative Adam Kissinger.
Oh, okay.
He was the one who spoke at the DNC.
I got you.
So I would think if she would welcome him
Yeah.
to speak, I would believe or be inclined to believe that she would let a Republican sit on an administration.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's interesting. It definitely makes my,
Because you
my
never
ears perk
seen
up. So,
a Democrat spoke at the RNC.
yeah. I
At
mean,
least I haven't. Have you ever heard of it?
no. I mean, I think it's unpopular
To go
to
and then
support Trump.
Exactly.
and
Well,
so, I'll talk about this in a second. But first, let's talk about her interview. So, one of the clips that I just played, she was talking about how she's going to continue on with the same policies, and she mentioned specifically the border. So everything that's been going on with the border, she's basically saying that her position hasn't changed on that. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that, of course, her position will change. We'll put it like this.
Okay.
If she is president, right, she can assign someone to oversee the border. So she's not going to physically, administer to that, right?
Right.
She's not
But
gonna administer to that. But also, too, like I think whatever, I don't know everything in detail what happened with the border, right? I don't know everything.
but
in
think
detail.
about the border though.
No. Trust me, I understand. I know false immigration.
Okay.
I'm with you. You just hear me out.
All right, go ahead. Do your
I'm
thing.
with you because we do need immigration reform. I'm 100% for that. I'm 100% for that, right? But also, you got to play both sides.
Okay.
How she's on the border. You also got to play the side where she said when they was going to pass this legislation for the border, and Trump told the cronies not to do it. So you got to play both sids if you want to be neutral.
Okay.
You got to play both sides.
I'm here.
So
I'm
what
gonna
you
be.
think?
I'm gonna be very clear with this. If her position is to continue on with how the border has been going, she's gonna lose a lot of support. Okay. Let me tell you something. On record, there has been 10 million people who have come through the border under this administration. Okay. And a lot of people are saying it's way more than that. People are throwing out numbers like 17 million.
I believe
now,
it's more in this administration than the last one.
oh,
It's
for
way
sure.
more. Yeah.
We cannot continue to just let everybody in. Okay. There needs to be something done about the border. And she was supposed to be, and I know a lot of people are changing the story now, but she was supposed to be the person who kind of went in and she was supposed to do research, people are saying now. But I remember, and there's clips of people calling her the border czar and stuff like that. And listen, I mean, not that, I mean, I know I wouldn't be able to go in and fix what's happening at the border. Most people wouldn't, right? But let's not, act like she wasn't involved there and try to change the story. But here's what I think. I think overall, I think that the interview for me, it was just good to hear from her and Tim Walz. I think that they did a good enough job to silence the haters, because they were just coming out and just saying, "Oh man, they haven't done an interview, they haven't done this, and they haven't done that." And so I think overall, me personally, I think that it was a good interview. But we need to hear more from them. We do need to hear from her by herself as well. And it needs to be something where it's completely transparent and it's not so calculated. This interview was very calculated. They said, okay, let's get Dana Bash. Let's sit down with these people and let's pre-record it.
Everything's strategic.
Yeah, it was pre-recorded.
At this point.
It was 18 minutes, I think, that they talked all together. I think somebody was saying it was like 26 minutes. But, they definitely have to do more of these interviews. But a lot of people have been saying that she needed Tim Walz to be there with her. What do you think of that? About that?
No, I don't think that's true, because I think it's good that he was there with her, because she kind of, remember, she wasn't initially the candidate.
Yeah.
So you didn't have the full time to prepare for a whole campaign and a whole role like Donald Trump had. So you got less than 100 days. You know what I mean? So time is of the essence. Every move got to be calculated. Every move got to be strategic.
Yeah.
You gotta you gotta move accordingly. You gotta kind of try to stay 2 steps ahead. So I think that was very wise to do that. So it's like, hey, let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Get to know my policies and get to know me. Get to know my VP pick.
Yeah.
And the aspect of him as well.
And that's what I think. A lot of people were like saying, oh, she has to do it with this guy. It's like, no. Okay, listen, this is the first interview that she's done since she's picked a VP. First interview that she's done since she's been the nominee. And so she has to introduce, like you said, her VP.
Yeah. Trump
did the same thing. Okay, you can go look up the interview, the joint interview that he did with his VP pick, J.D. Vance, and they did the same exact thing. So I don't understand why people were coming out and talking about, oh, she has to be with this guy and she couldn't do the interview by herself. No, this is how it goes, brother. So let's stop stop the cap, like,
tell him, brother.
let's tell the truth about this thing. So that's what I think. But she also a lot of people they were wondering what her stance on Israel was going to be. And she said, we're fully backing Israel.
I saw that.
And I think a lot of the people who are for Palestine, have been getting mad about those comments. But they also knew that that's what she was going to do, because that's what this administration has been doing. So.
One thing I will say, both administrations on both sides, they're going to back Israel. Yeah. That's an ally. They're going to back Israel. Even though it's been said that Israel has been doing some, illegal things. Well, no, we won't dive too deep into that. But they've been found to be doing some let's just say some alleged unethical activities. Right. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I think she's going to try to stop this war. And I believe if Trump came in office, he would try to do the same thing, try to stop the war as well. Because as a president, even though technically, you blaming America for something else that somebody else do, technically America really, I don't know how much involvement they have, even though Israel's an ally. But it's almost like, if it seems like this, right? And I get people gripe. But it seems like, let's say you're a parent, right? You're a parent, and you got 4 kids, and they may be on the playground playing, and then 2 other kids stop fighting. Now you may know their parents, right? But then it's like the other kids, because their parents aren't there, it's like instead of calling their parents, they're looking at you. Why are you letting them fight? Stop them from fighting. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, you may, as a responsible adult, step in and try to, ease the situation. But it's almost as if like they're blaming you because these kids are fighting. You see what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I think I like your analogy, but I think it's more so that, let's say one of the kids you personally know,
Right, exactly.
and
That
you
you
know the
helped out and
parents.
spend the night at the house.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
you know the parents,
Mm-hmm.
and you know them very well, and the parents, you guys are like really good
Yep.
friends, and you've helped each other throughout the years.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've known each other for years. You're probably going to side with that, the kid that that you've seen grow from a baby to where it is now.
You could be
So
biased. Yeah,
you
you
may
could
be
be
a little bit biased.
You could be biased.
And even though that kid may, well, I'm not going to say that, but anyways, that's where I
get
think
what you're
America
saying,
is. So
and as like in that same analogy, as a responsible parent,
Mm-hmm.
of course you're gonna run up there and pull them apart and break it up, right? And
Yeah.
that's what you should do, right?
Right.
If within your means, because you were there.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like, okay, now let's say the parents now come into play, right? And now it's like they're blaming you because these kids are fighting. You're
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah.
That's what it kind of seems like. It's not your fault that these kids got into a fight. Well, you were there. Why you ain't watching? I got my 4 kids out here. I'm out here, and I just see them fighting. Now I'm going over there trying to,
Just
rectify the situation. But now the parents are blaming you
Yeah.
because those kids are fighting.
Right.
Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't. So
It doesn't.
It's
No, it doesn't make sense what I just said.
No. Yeah, what you said makes sense, but I mean,
You
like,
said no.
I.
But
mean,
I knew what you said.
yeah,
Overall, it doesn't
yeah.
make sense how they're treating America.
Again, I don't like that we're in these wars.
I don't.
And that
We're not in them, but
and
we're
that
in them
We're in them because we know the people.
because we're invested.
We're invested in these people, and right now, America's in a very fragile place. We could potentially be getting into a bigger war. And I think people know what I'm talking about when I say a bigger war. And we don't want to go there. We don't want to be in that. And also, the fact that we're spending tons of money on these things.
I was just about to ask you that, man.
So-
What do you think about them steadily cutting Israel these big checks, almost like giving them a blank
Well,
check?
we've already been given the money for years.
No, and continues.
And
to
I
do
think it's more of like you're supporting your ally.
that. Yeah,
And you have to support them because when there comes a time and
Mm-hmm.
we're in a situation similarly,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to need our ally. And so I think it's more of that kind of thing going on.
I get it,
So-
but dude, it's like I get it.
Mhm.
If I'm a nation, you're a nation, you're an ally. Man.
Mhm.
You
Well,
need
it's-
help. You need help. I'm going to help you. But do I continuously give you money constantly cut you a check?
I think eventually, you have to stop, right? But
Yeah,
but how
'cause
do you
you-
stop? You have to get your
Close
ally
my-
out
close
of
my
that
checkbook.
situation.
That's how I stop.
Well, you have to get your ally out of that situation because to me, it's more like it's like a friend. By the way, I'm not on either side. I don't like. I'm just saying that like if look at it as your friend. At some point you have to help your friend get out of that situation that they're
Right.
in. So
if
but
you giving a check every year,
Mhm.
are you helping them?
Mhm.
But I mean, are they getting out of the situation?
well, we gotta figure out how to make peace. We gotta get to a ceasefire. So, all right, we gotta move on. But
They gotta figure out how to make peace.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
JD
It's up to
Vance,
us.
real quick, 30 seconds. JD Vance said that
Kamala Harris.
yeah, Kamala Harris needs to go to hell or something like that.
Really? He said that?
Yeah, he said that at a
Play
rally.
It, play it.
You want to play it?
Yeah. Play
All
it,
right,
play
hold
it.
on. I just need a 30 seconds response to this.
I can give you I can give you a 3 seconds. JD Vance is an idiot.
Oh.
I think he's trying to be more Trump-esque and just say
Instead of like doing his own thing?
instead of being more political.
Here it is.
Go ahead.
Kamala Harris is so asleep at the wheel that she won't even do an investigation into what happened, and she wants to yell at Donald Trump because he showed up. She can go to hell. Kamala Harris
Then
is
he thought about it.
'Cause he
She
knew.
can go to hell. Yeah.
Yeah, he knew
he's
that was
gonna-
going to be bad.
He's going to get backlash. He's going to backlash. One thing I will say, even though I think JD Vance, well, I don't. He's not the perfect VP pick. He wasn't a smart move to do a VP pick. Kamala Harris has more experience than both of them.
Combined.
Combined. She has way more experience than both of them. And Trump isn't even political. He's unorthodox, and that's what his base is like. So it doesn't matter what Trump he don't have to tell the truth about anything. He can say whatever. You know what I mean? His fans, it's like a cult. His fans are just that loyal. It's almost MAGA and it's Republicans. It's a sect within the entity itself. So, and if J.D. Vance is going to be under Trump's wing, he pretty much can say whatever he want to because the MAGA are going to be loyal to that base. It doesn't matter, Remember, lock her up. Lock her up.
Which I was on a panel, one of those TikTok panels, and people were talking about how, he didn't run on that. I was like, bro, there's so many videos of everybody saying lock her up.
Oh, yeah, there was a chant that.
Like, are you kidding? They were trying to tell me that wasn't true. I'm like, bro, I remember.
Like, man, dude,
they're like, pull up the video.
If you're going to support,
all you got to do is
business.
type that in,
Why get amnesia all of a sudden? Stand on business.
By the way, we're neutral, or at least I am. So no, I'm just saying.
Trying to throw me under the bus. Lock him up. Lock him up.
I'm neutral on this, on all of this, Trump and Kamala. And so, did I say that right?
Kamala.
Kamala. By the way, he struggles. They changed the name.
He loves Trump.
They changed the name on me. Don't put that out there. Anyways, all right.
But yeah.
All right, we got to move on.
Yeah. What else?
100 gigs.
100 gigs. Hip hop.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk a little bit about hip hop news. First, we just want to say.
Oh yeah. First, let's before we get down in it, let's say R.I.P. to Fat Man Scoop. Some of you guys, if you are familiar with him, Fat Man Scoop, which I just had this article. Where is it? It's So he passed away at the age of 53, and it says Fat Man Scoop was transported to a local hospital after having medical emergencies on stage in Connecticut. So R.I.P. to Fat Man Scoop. A great artist. I like this music. He was very hype, energetic. You know about Fat Man Scoop?
Yeah.
So, man, R.I.P. and condolences to his family and friends.
Yeah.
From the Black Summit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
All right, we're gonna get into the Drake and Kendrick beef. Just updating everybody, okay? So a lot of people have already seen this, but basically, since the beef, this man's K-Dot over here. Since the beef, Drake has put out 14 songs, and also he's put out a catalog. I'll put it like that. Literally 100 gigs of footage of him from back in the day, 10 years ago on tour and doing all kinds of different things. Some of the videos were of him on stage. Some of the videos are him in the studio. A lot of people were talking about Drake ain't in the studio. He's literally proven to people that he was in the studio doing these things. Not only that, there was some stuff that came out with him actually ghostwriting for like Kanye.
Kanye had a few ghostwriters.
Yeah. Kanye actually said that he wished he could have Drake write for him all the time, but to see it in action I think it's good for people. So he put out all this footage. Recently, he just put out another 100 gigs, and it's the same kind of thing. Him in the studio making these different songs and stuff like that, and it's kind of been interesting because I think a lot of people are saying that he's doing this because of the beef and because of what happened and all this other stuff. And people are kind of saying that, this could be the end of Drake because he took the L. I'm telling you, this is what everybody's saying.
That's not the
people are saying that this is it. People are saying that, like, that's what I've seen.
That's crazy.
And so.
That's what they're saying, really?
Yeah. So it's been quite interesting to see how people have been talking about this. And so they're saying that's why he's putting out these 14 songs. They're saying that this is why he's, doing all these things. But for any Drake fan, like myself, I already know that Drake always has been putting out music.
Yeah.
You know, he always does this. And that's why I feel like I'm still on CLB. Like, I still haven't listened to that all the way through because he just puts out so many tracks that you can't really keep up. And to me, seeing the 100 gigs just proves his greatness and the different things that he's done over the years, all these different albums that he's put out over the years. He has done so much for the game. And a lot of people want to come out and act like his contribution didn't mean anything because I don't know why. I guess they're just kind of mad at him now. And, and now, everybody's trying to act like his catalog doesn't matter. It does matter. And he is, one of the GOATs of hip hop. And people need to stop the cap. People need to stop acting like he ain't because he really is. And so he's proven it to me. So
I'll say, even though Drake did take an L, but Drake is a big star. As far as one of the GOATs of hip hop, well, it's opinion based. You may feel that way, and that's fine. If he's one of the GOATs, but great artists, definitely that. Drake don't got nothing to worry about, man. Even if he took the L, he's a phenomenal artist, and he works with a lot of people. So even though he might have caught some flack, but he still has a big fan base. Trust me, Drake would have been all right. Win or lose, he would have been fine regardless. He gonna put out music, people still gonna buy it, they still gonna vibe to it. Kendrick gonna put out music, people still gonna vibe to it. They still gonna, stream his music.
yeah,
Whatever. So yeah, Drake, trust me, even with this, even I said Kendrick won, but that's no shade to Drake. Drake would be fine. Trust me, Drake is good. Drake good.
by the
Drake
way,
is good.
if you're a Drake fan, this is a great time to be alive, man. This man, I mean, he keeps putting out music. He's done songs with, since the beef, he's done songs with, 21 Savage, Camila Cabello. He's done some stuff with Lotto. He's done some stuff with all these different artists, man. And, I think it's a great time for music. Regardless of what people think about the beef and about Drake now.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of him, this is what we wanted. This is what we want. By the way, Kendrick has still not put out an album. Okay, he was supposed to put out his album a long time ago.
It's coming. It's coming.
Never responded to the beef.
It's coming.
Never responded to the last diss track. So
when you sit on the throne, you don't have to say but so much. You know what I mean? Come on, it is what it is. When you sitting on the throne, you have to say but so much.
Okay.
But I think Drake is doing what he should do. Just keep putting out music.
yeah.
Just keep putting out music.
So a lot of people are talking about how there could be a part 2 to the beef, and
Was he putting sneak disses in the songs?
he
still?
put some sneak disses in some of those songs that he's put out because he's been putting out 3 pieces.
But does it matter?
And
it really don't even matter at this point.
yeah, well, he had this clip of Rasheed Wallace back in the day versus the Lakers. Remember, the Lakers had the super team. They had like Karl Malone and
Karl Malone.
I mean, what's his name?
Karl Malone didn't play for the Lakers. Karl Malone played for Utah Jazz.
Yeah, but so they had a super team back in the day. You probably don't remember, but he came to the Lakers.
Who?
Karl Malone.
Karl Malone came to the Lakers?
Yes.
Really? Maybe I don't remember.
Bro, you don't remember.
I
Anyways,
always remember the mailman
basically
playing with Utah Jazz.
the Pistons were going up against the Lakers, and that was the year that the Pistons beat the Lakers. The Lakers won game 1, but there was a clip of Rasheed Wallace basically saying, "Listen, just wait till game 2. We gonna come out and we gonna win this thing."
Was
And
this when Karl Malone was on the way out?
Yeah. Because this was like early 2000s. So,
Early.
I mean, you can look it up. What
I'm
does it
looking
say?
it up. Let me see. I only known Karl Malone to be with. I'm not saying you wrong.
Not only Karl Malone, it was a bunch of other folks too.
Oh, it's Karl Malone. You're
Yeah.
right. Karl Malone, Shaq.
Bro, I'm a Lakers
Gary
fan.
Payton.
I know this stuff.
I remember Gary Payton
Yeah,
came
man.
over there and Kobe.
I'm a Lakers fan.
So that was
That was-
97 and 99 actually.
I was young at the time, but like I
Wow.
remember all of that. So, but yeah.
Did they do anything with Karl? Did they win a championship?
We went to the finals,
But
but
what
we
happened?
lost to the Pistons, and so that's what. So
The
that's
Dirty
what the clip.
Boys.
That's what the clip was from. That was that early. That wasn't the.
It was not from Malone was MVP 97 and 90. Okay.
No,
so
no, no.
What year
So
was
that
he
was early
played?
2000s. I'm
Early
telling you.
2000s? Okay.
So early 2000s.
Okay.
It was we had won, I think, and people.
Damn, I totally forgot. You're right. I forgot
Yeah.
about that. I remember
So-
Gary Payton being in.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I was young, but I remember all of that. And all,
That's
and all
definitely
that
was
happening.
short lived because anytime you Google Karl Malone, it always going to come up Utah Jazz. Karl Malone and
Yeah,
John
let's not
Stockton.
talk about him too much because there's been a lot of stuff said about
Well,
him.
you brought him up.
But I'm just trying to talk about this in the context of, the Drake and Kendrick beef.
Go ahead.
So he put out a video of Rasheed Wallace basically, talking about how they're going to win game 2, and they ended up winning the series. And so basically,
the man.
yeah, basically he's like saying that he's going to basically win the beef, and he's going to
Man.
win round 2.
I think he need to just let it go, man. Just keep doing your music. If you want to sneak this in there, fine. So people can pay attention and catch the subliminals, or you want to do the double and triple entendres.
Yeah.
Just do you, man. Just leave the beef alone. Because honestly, I think if he tries to amp it up again, he going to get washed again. It's going to be even worse.
For sure.
Bruh, he don't need Kendrick. Kendrick don't need him.
Right.
Drake is a star. You know what I'm saying? He's big in his own right. He's done a lot in hip hop.
Even though Kendrick helped him out. But it's okay. By the way,
I think they help each other out, to be honest with you.
By the way, I think also that Drake needs to leave this beef alone.
Yeah.
The beef was already won before Drake even put out a diss track.
Drake won the beef already.
Yes, because here's what you have to understand. No. I meant they were gonna pick Kendrick no matter what.
Oh, you said
Here's what you have to understand is that this beef, it was already won by Kendrick. Before Kendrick even put out a diss track to respond to Drake, okay, people were already saying, oh, it's already over. Kendrick already won before the man even put out a diss track.
I beg to differ.
And so this is why I keep saying people chose. They chose. You people know that you chose Kendrick. It was never about the music. It was never about that. It wasn't about the artist that is Drake and the greatness that is Drake. It was always about, oh, Kendrick is more of the culture and all this other stuff.
He is more the culture.
Listen, the beef
He's
was
gotta be
already
honest.
over before it started. Let's be honest about that. People were already saying it. So for Drake, leave it alone.
I don't
because
know,
they
man.
were already going to give it to Kendrick. You were never going to win this. You were never going to win this because they don't care. They want Kendrick to be the one, even though this man is inconsistent and still hasn't put out an album. Here we are. We're about to go into September. All right. And where's that album at, brother? By the way, I already know that album going to suck.
Man,
but it's all good.
Look, man. I'm gonna have to rebuttal. I don't think that Kendrick would have already had the. I think if Kendrick never respond, then Drake put out tracks, then obviously it wouldn't have been a battle because Kendrick never respond. But I think if Kendrick, this is my opinion, I think if Kendrick would have put out something and he didn't come hard, then I think Drake would have.
No,
Drake
they
would have
still
got
would have
it.
picked him.
That's I don't
They
know.
still
I was
would've
thinking
picked
Drake
him.
would have got him, but I will say Kendrick is more of the culture. He puts out more conscious. Mind thoughtful, and then sometimes it takes a little minute, and I get it. Sometimes people, you might say, "Man, I want to hear more music." You know, and I get that too. That's a valid argument as well. But Drake just puts out music, but he's not putting out. He puts out good music, but everything is not. Some is a ballad, some is rap, some is with collabs, some is dance stuff. Kiki D, and he puts out some songs, but.
Yeah, we don't have to get too deep into it.
Not
Because
too deep.
We've
but
talked about this extensively.
I'm not going to say I don't think Kendrick is not consistent. He just don't put out as much music as Drake put out. But when he does drop, he drops. Like Drake drops.
Mm-hmm.
But when Kendrick drop, he drops.
That last album wasn't that great. But let's.
Yeah, because you're a Drake fan, so you're a hater.
No, listen, I actually
I can
like
even
Kendrick.
give Drake the benefit of the doubt more than you can. You from
I
Cali?
like Kendrick. I want to like his music.
And
I
you're
want to
from
listen to
Bumpton.
his music.
You're from Bumpton,
You
right?
know, I like some of his older stuff, but these last few albums have just been okay.
Because it make you think.
But
You
you
don't wanna
listen,
think.
I mean, listen, I love to think.
wanna
Anybody who
party.
knows me knows that I watch, what kind of movies do I watch? More artistic movies, don't I?
Artistic.
Really, I should really be on the Kendrick side. But
And you're from Cali. That's what makes it so.
Kendrick just kind of does different
The
things,
dude's
man.
from Cali.
Even listen to Not Like Us. He's over there and step this way and step that way. It's like weird shit. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here
You
right
think
now?
that's weird compared? Oh my God. You
I'm just
crazy.
being honest.
You know, and you know what?
Step
And
this
that's
way,
fine. That's
step
fine.
that way. I mean, like, what are we doing?
Because music is subjective. It's art is subjective. But you know, you and a few Drake fans are the only people who feel like that.
But listen,
But
what
the
kind of
world, even all the way to Africa, the world is
picked him.
feeling that song.
they picked him?
Because it relates to people on so many levels. It's more
They
culture.
said we're
It's-
gonna
it
pick this man
relates.
no matter what.
The song resonated. He gave
They
you a
said,
history lesson. The
we're not gonna
song
let Drake win.
relates. The
Not like
song
us. They
relates
said we're
to
not
people
going to let
on
Drake win.
so many levels.
matter what.
Across cultures.
them people was hating.
Anybody who's in the mud and who gotta
They was hating
struggle to
before
get
it even
out,
started.
and who didn't start it out acting on Degrassi as a little
They
kid
hating.
and whatnot, and had a silver spoon in
They
there.
hating.
You know, born with a silver spoon.
Anybody, if Drake did not put him on tour, we wouldn't even be talking about this man.
that
It's
man
all good.
outshined. He outshined him. He outshined him. So
Oh, all right.
it's
We
more for
gotta
the
move
culture.
on.
Go ahead. What else? Yeah. Your
Our
producer's
telling us to wrap it up,
Yeah. So
and she knows I'm doing it right. This is gonna be clipped.
producer need to come in here and
We're gonna
slap
have to
you.
clip this. Drake, Canada Day,
A? How does it Canadian? A?
Canadian,
Come on.
Canadian boy.
What's our last subject?
Views from the Six.
No,
That's
no.
our last subject. Views from the Six.
Views
No.
from the Six. Go ahead.
All right. So, have you heard about this Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively
I have
situation?
not. Run it down for me, sir.
Yeah. So basically,
Funny when you say that. I got another information about Ryan Reynolds as well.
spoiler alert, by the way, for people who haven't watched the movie. Go ahead.
Spoiler alert: if you haven't watched, what is it called? Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
It's not the movie itself. Nothing to do with the movie. I'm not telling the movie.
Okay.
It's just about the old Blade where Wesley Snipes doesn't. He never liked Ryan Reynolds because I guess the arrogance. I guess if it's that you know how Brian Reynolds' character is always obnoxious and arrogant and talks a lot.
Yeah.
No matter whatever role he plays, I guess to some degree that trickle into his personality.
Mm-hmm.
And Wesley Snipes never liked him, but I guess they reconciled their differences, and they did a play on that in the movie. You know, he said, "Yeah, I never liked this guy." You know, and I guess he got him to come because and I think it was Blade 3, maybe trilogy. Ryan Reynolds was actually in that film, and Wesley Snipes didn't care for him.
Okay.
Because I guess he considered him obnoxious or something like that.
I mean, that character is obnoxious. I mean,
Deadpool character.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that's
Yeah.
But hey, a lot of people like it. That movie's made over $1 billion.
Right.
Okay, and so it's been like a big thing. And I heard that not only are they trying to do, not only did they do this, but they're also trying to bring Blade back completely.
Yes, with
And-
Mahershala Ali.
But they're saying that they may put a pause on the Mahershala Ali one and do one again with Wesley Snipes. And so that's what they're talking about. It's all just talk, we'll see what happens. But Ryan Reynolds is a media star, and he's been doing all kinds of things with social media. He actually has a company that works specifically in social media.
Yeah, I saw a lot of
and-
advertisements.
Yeah, exactly. And they do all kinds of stuff. They kind of like, they're almost like parody things and do, these different things so that it can blow up on social media and stuff like that. But the reason why this is relevant, it's relevant towards this movie called It Ends With Us, okay? Blake Lively is the actress inside of It Ends With Us, and her co-star, what's his name? Justin Baldoni. Okay, her co-star and also the director of the movie. basically what happened was this movie is about DV, and you can kind of look that up. For people who already know about this story, they already know what I'm talking about. And basically, Blake Lively and this director, they were kind of coming together and they were doing the press tour and stuff like that. And they noticed that the director was kind of getting annoyed. But also they noticed that, Blake Lively wasn't really talking about the actual movie. Okay. She's talking about her hair care line and all kinds of different things. Because what they're trying to do is market this stuff. They're also trying to sell the movie that's coming out. And they also noticed that the director was making little comments about how Blake Lively needs to go ahead and what happened? What happened?
He didn't do any of that.
He did. He did say yes. He did. Hold on.
When?
Yes, he did. You can go look it up. All right. So the director was making little comments about how Blake Lively can go ahead and direct this next movie. Okay. And making little sly comments and different things. And so people were like, wait a minute, something's going on. And they noticed that the director and Blake Lively, who they're both the stars in the movie, and the movie, even though it's about DV, it was marketed as a rom-com. And so they were like, why aren't these guys like interviewing together? Why, when they're on the red carpet, are they not like seen in any photos together or doing press tours together? And it came out later that there was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. And basically, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds were kind of coming in and doing their own thing. Okay, because obviously they're the big stars, right? Nobody really knows unless you like watch some of the other shows this guy was in, Justin Baldoni. No, he's not the main one on the card, if that makes any sense. And so they were basically behind the scenes. Ryan Reynolds, who has nothing to do with this movie, was writing scenes for this movie. And also we found out that, Blake Lively was kind of like just doing her own thing on set. And that's what people have been saying. And so, yeah, go ahead.
He didn't really say any of that stuff. He hasn't been doing that. He hasn't did his own kind of press stuff because he was more focused on spreading awareness on spreading awareness. She was more on the other side. So they never really actually the other side. So they never really actually did press. Like never made comments.
Yeah, which is weird because they're both the main stars in the movie. Because they're both the main stars in the movie. And he did make that comment. You can go, you look that up. He made the comment about how she can direct the next one, because I remember that specifically. And they've actually put a hold on the next one because of all this stuff that's been going on. The next movie, they put a hold on it. And so, yeah, that's basically what's been happening. And she was going on and on about how, her skincare. She was talking about her dresses. She was talking about all kinds of stuff that has nothing to do with the movie. People would ask her questions specifically about the subject matter of the movie. Okay. And she would just not answer those questions. And I actually have a clip. Go ahead.
Also, you want to mention about the writer, the author themselves, Colleen Hoover, the author, is also a bad person, and is also a bad person together, and they decided together at the beginning of the movie, put a warning because that at the beginning of the movie, because that could ruin the plot.
Right. So she's basically been getting a lot of backlash for these things that she's been doing. And there was also something that came out, an old interview with Blake Lively, and it kind of showed that she was being mean to this reporter who was asking her questions just about her movie that she was talking about at the time. And so there was a lot going on with that. And then, there's some clips of her, blatantly just not answering questions about the movie and basically trying to make it a marketing thing because this is what her and Ryan Reynolds do, and listen, it's worked for them. Deadpool's made over $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? So
because it's Deadpool,
yeah,
and Wolverine is
yeah,
a big
but
seller.
Ryan Reynolds is a big play in that, you know? So, but this is one of the
if we're lucky enough to run into a celebrity in public, we only have a few moments to maybe speak with you guys. But for people who see this movie, who relate to the topics of this movie on a deeply personal level, they're really going to want to talk to you. This movie is going to affect people, and they're going to want to tell you about their lives. So if someone understands the themes of this movie, comes across you in public, and they want to really talk to you, what's the best way for them to be able to talk to you about this? How would you recommend they go about it?
Like asking for like my address or my phone number or like my location share. Or I could just location share you, and then we could I'm just
social security number.
I'm a Virgo, so I'm like, are we talking logistics? Are we talking emotionally?
Yeah, exactly. So they were doing a lot of this kind of stuff, not really talking about what the movie was about and trying to sell it, you know? And I think it would be fine if this wasn't about the subject matter that it's about. It's about DV, you know, like this is something serious that happens. And a lot of people, you know, don't realize, you know, what all goes into that. And so, and I don't really realize because, you know, obviously, you know, I've never really, you know, but I've been around that kind of stuff. I'll put it like that. Yeah, so, but
let me read you an excerpt from Rolling Stone, what the crew said about this real quick, briefly.
Okay.
Right? So everyone knew that they didn't like each other, says one crew member who nevertheless believes the feverish gossip around the conflict is overblown. I think some of the rumors online seem a little strong. I don't think they hate each other, but I don't think they would work together again. Their styles are way too different. Blake is very business-minded and very practical. Justin is so on the other side of why he makes art that they were never going to be friends. So that's what the crew is actually saying that they see on the set. And that was from Rolling Stones.
What are your thoughts on the story?
You know, honestly, the one thing that popped in my head is like me being a film director. I hate when somebody try to direct a scene that, especially a script that I wrote. Yeah. I already got the vision, and you know, that's where that saying comes in. A lot of chiefs, you know what I'm saying? One, you know, a lot of Indians and one chief, and everybody want to be the chief. You know, well, that's probably not politically correct, but you know, a native or whatever. But yeah, I hate when people try to. I mean, I'm sure you've direct things. I don't know if anybody ever try to, you know, oh, you know, do this, do that, and you know, whether they're working in hair, they're working in camera, or you know, or you doing lights. Why are you telling my actors what to do? You know, or the actor. Now, if the actor give me a suggestion about something in a particular scene that you are doing, and if I decide that, you know, I'm cool like that, we can try it and see how it feels if it doesn't defer too far off a script, you know. And even if you need to add a little bit something to make it feel more natural, I'm fine with that. But if I'm directing, I don't want other people, not even my actor, directing or telling me how to do my job. Right. When it's something I do.
And I think that's why she's been kind of canceled, is because of that fact. You know, she's coming in and, you know, basically trying to take over the project. Yeah. And that's why he made that comment of like, well, maybe she should direct the next one, you know, like because she was basically trying to take it out of his hands. Yeah. And really she was using her celebrity because she's the star, right? She was using that against, you know, anything that he had to say because, you know, listen, they've had a great track record, her and, you know, her husband, Ryan Reynolds. And so they've been doing, you know, well. I mean, Deadpool's always made money. You know, this is the third one. And like, it's already, it's still getting $1 billion. Like, so, I mean, the track record's there, but that doesn't give you the right to come in and just take this project out of this guy's hands and just, you know, completely miss what this project is about. It sounds like that's what it sounds like they were doing. It's about DV and they're trying to make it a rom-com and they're trying to like do all these different things, you know, sell all these different products and, you know, not really taking questions seriously and just kind of like laughing it off like, oh yeah, whatever on this serious subject, You know, so I think that's what's really going
But
on.
has she done this before with other projects? If she's blacklisted?
I don't think she has before. And
But sometimes
now-
all it takes is one
Yeah.
to go wrong, and then they may say, you know what? This is my experience working with her.
Mm-hmm.
You can try to work with her if you want to, but hey, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I think that's a big problem too in Hollywood, just in general, in the entertainment industry in general. A lot of people aren't humble because you reach a certain pinnacle of success. I think you should still be humble. Yeah, at the end of the day, you still got to do a job, no matter how big you are. You know, even if I'm on if I was doing a $30 million movie and I'm the director, I'm still not going to walk around and throw my weight around like,
Yeah.
you know, oh, I'm the director. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because, you know, I'm still humble.
Yeah.
You know?
And she's also, you know, she's like a nepotism baby. That's
yeah.
another thing why people don't really like her. Here's what I do think. I think that cancel culture is a real thing. And I think that
I don't think so.
regardless, of this situation, I think that we're always going to come out and eventually cancel, you know, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively.
I don't think it's
And
going to happen.
I think that what they were trying to do, because, you know, a lot of people have been hating on them for a while. A lot of people have been like, but like it never really took off. It never really had traction, right? And I think that, you know, a lot of times we like to build people up and then we like to see them broken down. And so I think that that's in play here because, you know, people were just waiting for the moment and this was the moment and now they're pouncing on them. And, you know, you have to realize that they got married here in South Carolina.
I heard, yeah, at the
And
Boone Hall plantation.
Exactly, at a
Yeah.
plantation. And so a lot of people didn't like that.
And they apologize. Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't know.
Exactly. And so like this has been brewing for a while. And now we're like seeing it actually come to fruition. But listen, they're going to be fine. They already
Yeah.
made a ton of money.
Yeah,
The Deadpool's already $1 billion movie. I mean, like, what else are you going to do to these guys? So
Yeah, he's already paid.
Yeah.
Marvel paid the act. They paid him already up front. I
they can never work
and that's
again.
owned by Disney, so he's not going to get nothing on the back end.
They never have to work again. They don't, you know, like it's not like anything's going to happen to them. It's just, you know, I think right now they just need to go away for a while.
think
And
so?
then, yeah, I think that's why the part 2, because they were going to do a part 2 to this
This
movie.
Deadpool?
No, it ends.
Oh, that
It
one.
ends with us.
It ends with us.
It ends with us.
Yes, they were going to do a sequel to this project, and
To be honest with you, I never even heard of this one. Did it come out?
it's, you know, I think it was bigger with, you know, I think it's not something I would watch, you know.
I didn't see no advertising for
Well,
it.
I probably would watch it. I'll take that back. I probably would watch it. But the way that they were marketing it as, like, I was like, okay, it's another rom-com of Blake Lively. I'm not going to sit
When
down
did this
and watch
movie
that.
came out? When did it come out?
It just came out. I mean, maybe like a month ago when all this stuff started happening because they were doing the press tour for it.
But you know what? Some people say all publicity is good publicity, so this may make people go see it.
Yeah, I think people have gone and go.
Who's to say this could be actually been staged? You never know. To show
don't think it was
our
staged.
differences on sets.
I don't think it was staged. They actually have videos of them like fighting
on
set, even though they tried to come out and say that it wasn't.
Well, this is definitely going to drive attention to the film. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, people are definitely
definitely
gonna
gonna
watch it.
see it,
Yeah, I
yeah.
probably, with the way that they were marketing it, I probably wasn't gonna watch it, honestly.
even hear anything
And then
about it.
now this thing comes out, I'm like, okay, I'm
you
a
gonna
little
watch it?
intrigued. Yeah, because I've never really heard about the book.
The
you know?
domestic
So
disputes between a married couple.
yes,
That's just,
yeah. But also, you know, there's a lot of stuff that happens in the.
well,
know,
yeah.
It's
'cause I
about
don't know
DV, so
the,
yeah, domestic, and then you can
dispute.
yeah. So
same,
right,
yeah.
so yeah, that's what it's about.
Physical or verbal or both.
Both.
Emotional? Oh,
Both.
wow.
Yeah,
Well,
emotionally.
Is it on both
physically-
sides or just coming from one party?
Yeah.
The male. Oh wow.
So, yeah.
Dang, that's kind of.
Yeah, now you see.
about that?
Now you see. Well,
I mean, it happens.
I think it's important to make a movie
That
about
is true.
that.
You're right. You're right. I
Yeah.
shouldn't say that. You're right. Because art imitates life.
Go ahead. What are you going to say?
So literally based off of the
literally
author who wrote
based
it. It's
off
based off of her
the
mom's,
author who wrote
like,
it. It's
true
based
story.
off of
Oh,
her
gotcha,
mom's
gotcha.
And
like,
how
true story,
it
basically,
ends with
and
us
how
means like the domestic
it ends with us means like
so
the
she
domestic.
gets out of the dangerous situation,
And so
that
she gets out of the
isn't in
dangerous
that
situation,
Gotcha.
so that
So
she
that's
isn't
like
in that.
what it is, but of
So
course
that's
there is
like
like a side guy
what it is,
who
but
she
of
falls
course
in
there
love
is like a
with and
side
stuff. So
guy
yeah, there
who
is
she falls
romance
in
in
love
it,
with
but it's
and stuff.
supposed
So yeah,
to
there
be
is romance in it, but it's supposed to
stopping,
be
like,
about
the pattern and
stopping.
everything.
So she
Right.
wrote the cycle
The pattern.
of that.
Yeah.
You know what that sounds like? That's a Tyler Perry movie. Real talk. That's am I right, my kid? That's
Do you watch Tyler Perry?
I've seen. Yeah, everybody's seen some Tyler Perry. That's pretty much a Tyler Perry story.
I actually have a friend who works on Tyler Perry movies.
That is a Tyler Perry. Trust me, that is. Matter of fact, his last film.
right, but this is based off of this book. and
Right. I get
true
that.
story,
A true story.
you know.
Even though Tyler one is not a true
He does-
story.
yeah, he always does.
But he may grab things from people he may know,
Right.
and create a story, or maybe not, But like y'all said, this should be made because these things are actually going on. But yeah, that's like some of his movies.
Speaking of him, he actually had a controversy too, like with his movie, because
The last one he just did.
that last one, I
What was
forget
that one?
all that happened, but basically
I saw it.
he got like a 0% on like Rotten
Oh,
Tomatoes,
yeah.
and like he had to come out and defend the movie, because a lot of people were just like, oh yeah, somebody had come out and said that he makes movies for, I don't know what, I forget what the comment was, but basically just ragging on him, and he had to defend himself. And
Well,
so,
it's well, because he makes a movie for a certain demographic,
Yeah.
right? But also is because the story you've seen it done so much.
yeah,
With the battered woman.
well, it's made
And
him.
then she comes out, and then there's the handsome guy on the side. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? That's a lot of his stories, and
It's
that's what
made him-
that sounds like.
It's
you know?
made him $1 billion.
It has. So hey, he
So,
caters to a certain fan base, and
Yeah. I mean,
know,
I
if-
won't
if it
watch a
ain't
Tyler
broke-
Perry movie because I watch more artistic movies. Like
that's art.
So I mean, yeah, but it's not really something that I'm gonna sit down and watch. Like, I mean, no offense to him, like I do like his movies though. I do like his movies. I mean, I like his story. I'll put it like that. I like his story and what he's done. He's made a couple of really good ones,
No, he has some good movies.
like the People That Pray.
Yeah,
I
the family
really
that
like that
prays.
one.
Yeah,
The
that's a
Family
very
That-
good.
yeah.
That's good.
Yep.
But overall, regardless of the movie, my biggest love for Tyler Perry, his business model.
Exactly.
You got to respect that man for his business
Exactly.
model. I love, and 50 Cent is adopting that same. He's bought in Freeport, Louisiana, Shreveport.
Okay.
He
bought some land?
He bought a studio. It was an
Oh,
old
okay.
studio out there that
Yeah.
he bought. Matter of fact, we could talk about that on the next podcast.
Yeah.
We'll dive into that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I forgot what else. Is that it?
I think that was it. Is that it, producer?
Oh yeah. What did you think quickly? What did you think of the J-Lo situation? J-Lo basically filing for divorce.
J-Lo
with
run
Ben
through
Affleck.
some men, man. J-Lo need to date me for a little bit. I know we I know it is what it is, so I know we ain't gonna get far. You can date me for a little bit.
Yeah, it was funny because people were talking about how at the beginning of the Biden administration, how she was with the baseball player guy.
Oh, with A-Rod.
A-Rod, and
They were engaged, yeah.
They were engaged. She broke off the engagement with him, married Ben Affleck, and before Biden's gonna leave, already divorced.
divorcing.
So
Because they were dating after she broke up with Puff.
yeah,
And for whatever reason, that didn't work out. She married Mark Anthony. But I think she
Yeah.
was married like maybe 2 times before then. Because
Yeah.
I think she married like a dancer or something like that.
yeah. This is definitely her. I think this is
her
like her fourth.
I think her fourth.
Yeah,
So I guess it's the from the street terminology. Sometimes they say, ever heard the terminology spin the block?
yeah. She definitely.
So she spent the block. And sometimes they say it's not wise to spin the block. If you left someone, obviously you left them for a reason. There's no need to spin the block. Or if you're going to spin the block, you just say, okay, look, if we hooking up, that's just what it is.
She spun
We
the
just
block.
keeping it here.
and she been all around the block.
She's Jenny from the block,
Yeah.
J-Lo from the block. And she still looks good, by the way, even though she's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
what,
she looks
50,
great.
which is
Yeah.
like 55, 56, something like that. Still looks good. She keep herself
I
in
saw
shape,
something
so.
of Sanaa Lathan recently. I was like, dang, she
Sanaa
looks good
Lathan,
too.
oh my gosh.
I mean, she still looks good.
You
After
saw at the
all these
basketball
years.
game?
Yeah, I think that's what I
Oh
saw.
man, bro, I saw that. I was like,
And she's,
dang.
I didn't know she was in her 50s. She
Yeah.
looks great.
She too old
I'm
for
like,
you. Huh?
dang, you know?
You wouldn't date her. She too old.
Nah, I
for you?
wouldn't date him now.
Yeah, I know. You need him but 20. you need him but 20 to 25. That's
See,
that's
you know,
that's
that's
his
getting
cap.
you know.
That's
nah,
his
not
cap.
gonna say
Well, you are young. You only what 20?
yeah. Hey,
28?
don't tell anybody my age on here.
Oh my bad. I'm sorry about that.
I'm in my 20s still.
He's a
know,
millennial. He's a millennial.
I still look good for my age, but I'm in my 20s.
He looks older than me.
You know? People do say that, right?
Yeah.
Somebody told you that.
Because you hang with me, so they
Yeah.
thinking you as old as. I'm like, no, man. He's younger than me. He's younger than me.
That's why it's good for us to like have this podcast because, you know, we get different perspectives.
That is true.
You know, like, I mean, you grew up in a different time.
Yeah.
You know, and I grew up, you know.
In the South. You
So-
grew up out west.
Yeah, exactly.
You was homeschooled. I was
So-
public school. I
Yeah.
was military. I don't know what you do. You weren't military.
I was military. My dad actually wouldn't let us do it because he was military. And yeah,
I
anyways,
get
I'm not
that.
gonna get
I
into that.
honestly, I don't want my
Yeah.
son to go in the military.
Right.
I get that. If
Yeah.
he do, I just do the Air
I was
Force,
honestly like really considering the reserves for a while there. But yeah, anyways.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So
Cool.
this has been a good podcast, my guy.
Thank you guys for joining us. See you on the next one.
Yeah, see you in the next one. This has been the Black Summit. I'm Hendrix.
And I'm Brooks.
And we hope you enjoy the digs.
Yeah.
And we out. Peace.
Drake is a winner. I get the last word.
No, you don't, K-Dot.